The gentleman from Texas is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. At this time, I'd like to yield 5 minutes to my neighbor from the east, from the great state of Louisiana, Mr. Boustany.
The gentleman from Louisiana is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank my friend from Texas for yielding time to me, and I thank the committee for bringing this resolution to the House floor today. Madam Speaker, I rise in support of H.R. 3412 to designate the facility of the United States Postal Service located at 1421 Veterans Memorial Drive in Abbeville, Louisiana, as the Sergeant Richard Franklin Abshire Post Office building. I want to thank the Oversight and Government Reform Committee for bringing this bill to the floor. And today, it is really an honor for me to stand here today to celebrate the life of United States Marine Corps Sergeant Richard F. Abshire, an extraordinary hero of the Vietnam War. A native of Abbeville, Louisiana, in my district, the heart of Cajun country, Sergeant Abshire graduated from Abbeville High School in 1962 and then attended the University of Southwestern Louisiana in Lafayette, my hometown. Serving in Vietnam from December 1967 until May 1968, a young Sergeant Abshire had given over 3 years of service to his country in the Marine Corps. On May 2, 1968, while serving in Quang Tri province in the Republic of Vietnam, Sergeant Abshire led a coordinated attack against an entrenched North Vietnamese force in the village of Dien Tô. Under heavy small arms and automatic weapon fire, Sergeant Abshire displayed extraordinary valor and leadership in leading his men to safety, sacrificing himself in the process. Upon entrance to the village of Dien Tô, Sergeant Abshire's men began sustaining heavy losses from better positioned North Vietnamese troops. Acting quickly, the sergeant directed his men to establish a defensive perimeter, aiming a heavy volume of fire into the enemy emplacements. Then, realizing the enemy was preparing a counterattack, Sergeant Abshire quickly obtained a number of hand grenades from Marines. Navigating the fiery open terrain while selflessly exposing himself to enemy fire, he threw several grenades toward the enemy, disrupting their attack. Returning to his men, Sergeant Abshire moved from position to position, shouting encouragement and directing fire. Upon realizing they were dangerously low on ammunition, Abshire directed his men to fall back while he resolutely provided cover fire until they could reach safety. After expending the last of his ammunition, Sergeant Abshire was mortally wounded by a burst of enemy fire, laying down his life for his fellow Marines and his country. Sergeant Abshire's actions are an inspiration to Marines he fought beside and the country he fought for. Because of his heroic actions, he was posthumously awarded the Navy Cross for his bravery in a combat zone. Shortly after Sergeant Abshire's death, his mother received the Navy Cross for gallantry on his behalf in Lafayette, Louisiana, from Brigadier General Walter S. McElhaney. Today, I join the town of Abbeville in honoring this fallen hero with the dedication of their post office to the name of Sergeant Richard Franklin Abshire for his extraordinary valor in battle. Madam Speaker, as we honor Sergeant Abshire today, we must also recognize our present-day heroes serving around the globe, those who have fallen and those who continue to fight for our freedoms. We thank you, as well as their families and the families of all our armed services. I now ask my colleagues to support this resolution, and I yield back the balance of my time to my friend from Texas.
The gentleman from Texas.